So we hunt down first. We take the 3/3. Actually. Hello everyone, and welcome to my card review for Hunt Down. This is a card that has divided a little bit of the community here and there, but after extensive playing with this card myself, I think that I have decided to slot this in a B tier. And I'll explain why in a second, but for now let's talk about briefly just how this card functions in case you're unaware. So obviously with this card you need a beast to even play it. And then it fights an enemy creature. So how fighting works in Faeria is fighting counts as an attack for all intensive purposes to do with combat. So combat abilities will trigger when you use Hunt Down. Anything relating to attacking, combat, anything like that, Hunt Down will trigger that, but it does not use up your creature's attack for the turn. And you can also move and attack still with your creature. So let's say you use Hunt Down on a creature that hasn't done anything for the turn. It'll give its attack, any combat abilities will trigger, but then you're still able to move and attack with that creature. So essentially, you can get 2 attacks with 1 creature using this card. So with that out of the way, how does this card hold up in the competitive meta? Well, it's pretty nice in terms of being able to target any creature on the board. This is essentially global removal for 3 Faeria. The disadvantage to this card, though, there's a few. One is that you're forcing a trade. For example, when you use this card, you give it +2 attack, you fight with a creature, but then your creature actually loses health. So it's not like it's just 3 Faeria removal. You actually have to give up something. You've got to give up that life stat on your beast creature. So that is one downside. Another downside is the land cost. 4 lands is actually quite a lot, because Hunt Down being global removal, removal cards you typically want to use near the early game for it to have any impact. Faeria is a very snowbally game. So any removal tools you can bring down near the early game is just excellent. So the fact that this comes down not until turn 4, typically you're going to throw this away in the mulligan because it's so slow to get out. But once you reach turn 4 or later to play this card, it's not all that effective, or at least it's not as effective, I should say. It's not as effective as like a Flame Burst where you can play on turn 2. So that is definitely another downside to it. This 2 attack buff is nice. It's sometimes relevant. I actually have made use of this 2 attack buff quite often, and it's pretty good. But yeah, Hunt Down is good for the global removal, bad for the slowness in terms of when it comes down. And one more thing about this card is that there aren't actually that many beasts in the game, or at least many playable beasts. There's a few, but there's not many good beasts in the game. Another thing awkward with most beasts is their awkward stat line. They've got 5 life oftentimes, which is not the best stat line in the game. They're very vulnerable to flyers and things. There's a lot of 6 life creatures. Beasts have 5/5 stats oftentimes. So yeah, there's just not many beasts. It's slow and all of that stuff. But the fact that it's global removal, and pretty significant global removal at that, you can get high attack beast cards to just clear anything you want on the board. And I think that is super powerful, which is why I think that it's still a B tier. I think it's a very strong card for very situational purposes, but again, just very slow to come down. In terms of decks, I think that this card could fit into. I've prepared 2 lists for you today, green-blue beasts and a green-red beasts. So let's talk about green-blue first. This is the more competitively viable list. I've brought this actually to the past couple tournaments so far, and I really like it. I don't think it's like super overpowered or anything, but it's a decent, solid deck. And I think it's headed in the right direction in terms of how it functions. since the removal of Frog Tosser, I used to run Frog Tosser in my green-blue beasts, but Frog Tosser got nerfed, and it's not as good anymore. I think that there's no reason to go up to 6 lands anymore. 6 lands is a lot, and so a 4-land beast deck is what it comes to, and because you're only on 4 lands, you can make use of tempo plays, which if you don't know is pretty much just going faster and trying to close out the game quicker. So in this list I've only got 2 hunt downs, and the reason for that is that pretty much what I just talked about. It's not as effective as you would think, but global removal super strong, and especially in a tempo list, you're running only 4 lands. 4 land is like your land cap, so you don't want to run too many 4-land cards. Ideally, you're trying to accelerate as quickly as possible to your opponent's orb, so hunt downs are more like endgame tools for this list. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of 5-life beasts in this list, so you really want to have buffs in here to buff them up a bit to fight typical statted creatures out there. Overgrown Tower was a really cool addition that I got off of Zorni, because this gives you a +1/+1 life boost, which is excellent, especially against flyers, which is super strong in the meta right now, or like monstrosity things. There's a lot of 5 attack things, so you can boost your 5 life beasts just out of range of those flyers, and it's a really strong card in this, in my opinion. I'm also running Shifting Tide in this list to accelerate my lands quicker, to get to Mystic Beast spots, and also just to accelerate faster with tempo. One thing to consider when you're deck building is how your land structure is going to go throughout the game, and in this list particularly, because of the Mystic Beast, I know that that second lake is going to be the last land that I want to build, which makes Sunken Tower not as effective. You might think Sunken Tower is like a superior card to Shifting Tide, but considering I only want to build 4 lands with this lake as my very last land, Shifting Tide is just a lot better in my opinion. I'm also only running 2 Humbling Visions for that exact same reason. 2 lakes, it comes in the late game. Essentially this is like a 4-land card, all these 2 lake cards. So yeah, Humbling Vision, really strong card, but I prefer having the buffs just for earlier access. I can bring down tempo plays. As good as Humbling Vision is, we only want 2 of. Some people have questioned why Ancient Herald is here instead of like another beast, but there just aren't any other beasts, sadly. Ancient Herald's a really solid tempo card as well. I've already got Grizzly for my starting creature and Fugu, but there's no other beast that I want to run. There's like the Tiki, which isn't that great, and there's the 3/2 Exotic Pet, which also isn't that great. And Ancient Herald in a tempo deck is just super solid, so I kind of just have to run it because we don't have enough beasts in green-blue to actually run. But okay, let's see this deck in action, and we'll come back for the red-green afterwards. Okay. I have hit record this time. So, we're gonna start with... Yeah, this is a decent start. We're gonna toss the Humbling Vision, though. Like I said, this is pretty much a 4-land card in this particular list, but having 2 starting creatures is nice. Herald, starting with, is excellent because you get these discounts as soon as possible. If you don't get the discounts, then you're pretty much playing a 6-cost 5/6. Yeah, and typically you want to start with Forest Center with this list. However, when you have the Explorer, it's a little bit different. Because we can actually go for a turn 1 Grizzly. So I'm going to go Explore Forest like this. To the opposite side with Grizzly. If you don't have this play, usually you want to go Forest Center, then maybe Lake, then Forest. And the reasoning for that is that you've got Ancient Boar that you can dash from the center land towards the well spot. The lake spot is for your Ancient Heralds, which you want to play as soon as possible, and the Grizzlies can come down later in the game in a more aggressive stance. But with the Explorer, turn 1 Grizzly is excellent. So I could go Lake here. Another thing I could do is just go double neutral, get an even more aggressive spot, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Considering I have no Shifting Tides in hand, I think this will work out just fine. Double neutral, get a more tempo play. We drop the lake here, drop an Ancient Herald. Hopefully can contest whatever he plays. Okay. Yeah. Another option is going for Fugu since he can jump, but we're gonna go for the Herald, get more discounts, and pass from here. We also have Hunt down now to build up to, so our next 2 lands are gonna go in his face somewhere. Ignis? That's a yikes. All pings on the creature. That's really good for him. Now we get the Shifting Tide. Yeah. So we're gonna drop Orphan Fugu here. Just depends where I want my lands to go. Possibly here. Forest here. Or forest here. I mean, forest on the well spot makes more sense, right? We just go for this. Drop the Fugu. Now we do have to be careful of the Plague Bearer clearing all of our stuff, but maybe I don't play anything here, actually. The Fugu is really nice to Shifting Tide jump with, but kinda gotta clear this Ignis. Yeah, I might be saving my resources here, just because the Plague Bearer could, like, blow me out here with the Ignis. You could get, like, perfect Ignis pigs again, and, like, full clear me here. So, maybe holding my resources. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. And the Bloodsinger. Okay, but doesn't have anything else? That's pretty good. Okay. So... Yep, so we will go for the Hunt down here. I'm debating whether I clear this. Could be an option. Usually you want to use Hunt down on the Ancient Grizzly. Sorry, the Deepwood Grizzly. Because it's got the higher life stat. Yeah, we're gonna go for this. Only had 2 life now. A bit spooky with that Plague Bearer on board. That's okay. Yeah, I probably don't care about this damage. We just go for face hits. Bop. Drop the discounted Fugu. Has something to fight with, and then we probably pass once again just because the Plague Bearer don't want to get blown out again. Ancient Boar also plays into Firestorm a little bit. Ancient Boar. Yeah, we'll pass from here. Five, 1, 11 Faeria here, just on 1 well, 11 Faeria. Hasn't been playing much, but got some really nice Ignis pings. So he just needs to really find, like, Flame Burst into, like, kill this off. So yeah, I think holding these 2 creatures will be pretty nice. And a famine. Well, there's the little mini Garridan. A second Bloodsinger. Okay. So we're gonna take a draw. I have a ton of Faeria here. Mystic Beast, excellent. Would love to get a face hit with this guy, which does require me to play a beast, which will also require me to play Shifting Tide if I really want to do that. This guy's an Ignis deck. I played him earlier, so I think We need to get in the face hits as soon as possible. We don't really care about the blood singers. They're not doing anything. Okay, this might seem weird, but it is a tempo play. We are playing tempo. I think it's worth it, to be honest. 5-cost boar. Bop in here. Play the Mystic Beast. We are also probably gonna humble this. I think it's worth it. So this is a very good example of what tempo means. When you play something that is more expensive and not going for the max amount of value that you could possibly get on a later turn, just to apply more pressure, deal more damage, drop more creatures. That was a pretty good example of a tempo play, I think. We'll see if it pays off. He's still an 11 Faeria here. But this allowed me to develop Boar and Mystic Beast and deal 5 damage and threaten lethal here now. Hellfire, very scary Hellfire there. But that's 7 Faeria gone from his pool now, so I don't have to worry about that. Big chunk gone. Yeah, this deck's actually... I mean, Hellfire is not really a card you consider when building a competitive deck anyways, but all the high life stats and big bodies on board can resist Hellfire pretty nicely. The 3rd Bloodsinger. Okay. So we're not gonna find a lethal here. Again, I don't really care about the damage. I can just hit face here. I could go back collect. It's another option. Another option is to Shifting Tide, clear this. We can +1 play the Fugu, right? Not bad. We take away all his collections. That might not matter though. Considering we get him down to 2 life, we could just set up lethal here. I kind of like setting up lethal. So we're gonna move this. We're just hit face, +1, Fugu. And then we guarantee that lethal next turn. I don't know how important that 1 collection for him is going to be. I think we just hit face here. It's going to be pretty tough for him to deal with all of this, just on 5. Now if he had 1 more, if he was on 6, he could +1 7 Hellfire. Might be more of a reason to hit into this, but it's always a good idea to, if you're thinking about clearing a collector, think about what Faeria threshold he can be on next turn, considering the +1. So if there was a Hellfire potential, I might consider clearing this to stop the Hellfire, because he could probably blow me out here with a Hellfire. He hits in, I'm on 3, 4, 5, well, it's possible. It's kind of a gambit for him, but always gotta value risk versus reward in this game. But yeah, it should be a guarantee we get this. I don't see any way that he could pull off a full clear here with 5 Faeria. Maybe he drops a taunt. Taunt could be possible. Yeah, there's the taunt. But that still doesn't help. He needs something else. Bob. Gone. Alright. Yep, so that's kind of how the deck works, going for the tempo plays. Usually I'd be a little bit more conservative and like collect and stuff, but considering that we had some like Wrath of Ignis coming soon, sacrificing good value on board for face damage is a bit better in this scenario, but yeah, typically you want to go for well collections a bit more, clearing the board a bit more. But yeah, let's get into the next deck. Okay, we're back with the red-green list, and this has some very spicy characteristics to it that I'm excited to talk about here. So there's a really clever interaction in this list to do with grappling hook and hunt down. So if you don't know the interaction with grappling hook and how that works, grappling hook allows you to give ranged to any creature of your choosing, and then whenever that creature attacks, you can teleport to a land adjacent to that enemy creature. So what this means with hunt down, because hunt down counts as an attack, you can first use grappling hook to give that effect on one of your beast creatures, then you use hunt down, attack a creature with hunt down, and you actually get to teleport next to that enemy creature. And then you still get a second attack, you'll still have ranged, you can use grappling hook again, and you can teleport a second time. So this is a really cool interaction that many people might not know about. It's not like a super OP combo as you might think. It costs 2 cards, 6 Faeria, to maybe take out 2 creatures and collect twice off the wells. So it can be good, but like is very specific. It's extremely difficult to pull off. I did a stream where I tried to make this deck work, and I don't think I ever pulled this combo off. There was one opportunity that I had that I just missed, but hopefully we can figure something out today. But yeah, that's the combo, and to make this work, I'm actually running Llamacorn here, because Llamacorn gives you draws. It does give your opponent draws as well, but typically when you're doing more combo heavy decks, Llamacorn's a really good include as far as beasts go, just because it draws you more cards, and more cards mean more chances to get your combo pieces. We need grappling hook, hunt down, and a beast. That's a 3-card combo, and that's a lot to hope for. So this particular list isn't super competitive. It is going to be a little bit more on the memeier side, but it's still decent. It can get you some decent wins here or there. I've also got Deepwood Stalker, Vulpine, a lot of smaller creatures, because since we're doing red, I want Emerald Salamander. So I've got a lot of Tikis here to give buffs and things. I think buffs are really neat with grappling hook and hunt down, since you're having all this global range here. And then I also included Zephyr Vulpine. Now I didn't have Vulpine in the green-blue tempo list because Vulpine requires Forest to step on. It's not a very good tempo card. It's got decent stats. It's not an awful card, but the Ancient Herald was better in that list. Here though, I'm actually going up to 3 forests. We have a 5-land total count. So we've got Runin and Grove Guardian. Grove Guardian's a very excellent beast if you can manage to put him in your list. So Vulpine has a lot more flexibility in this list, where I've got 3 forests to build. On top of that, because of all the buffs here, Vulpine works super well with buffs. Because it's a really threatening card. If he's got a forest next to him, you're always threatening this damage on Vulpine, always threatening that 3 damage. But if you've got buffs, you're threatening even more damage. So Vulpine almost represents another piece of global removal in a way. So lots of global sort of removal here. Salamander is typically a deck that wants to stay close to the orb and not extend too far, so that you can get as many buffs as possible on your little guys. So this works really well with the hook sort of idea. You stay near your orb, go to both sides of the wells, build up big salamanders, and then you extend out with your grappling hooks later, maybe get an aggressive land here or there, which does extend your land count to 6. If you want that aggressive land. So yeah, that's why it's not a fantastic list, but it's really fun to play around with, especially if you can get that combo off. So let's take a look at this in game. Alright, so on the mulligan, starting creatures we're going to be looking for are Llamacorn, Zephyr Vulpine, and possibly Tiki Piper. It kind of depends on how you want to play things. Sometimes Grove Guardian's a decent starting card, especially going first. You can drop this turn 3. Or Runin, same thing. Tiki Piper is an alright start because it pairs with Ancient Boar. But typically Llama or Zephyr Vulpine are the ones you want to go for. And we're going to start Sidelands. Deepwood Stalker is pretty nice to have in opening hand. I wouldn't keep this as a starting creature, but if you've got like extra stuff, you can keep it. And also, one of the reasons I have so many Tiki Pipers in this list, we're going to fight side, by the way, to get this combat ability hopefully off. One of the reasons I have Tiki Piper in here is to, specifically for Llama pretty much, to boost the life here. Because 5-5 stats, as I mentioned, are super awkward. So that 4 life really helps. 5-9 is excellent. That's like Tyrion Golem stats. And more life is always good. A mountain. Huh. So I might go for... yeah, I might go for Tiki Piper here. Forest on the well is really good for your dash stuff. So we're just gonna lock in our 3rd forest, I think. Step in range. And just uber buff this. And hope for no Humbling Vision. I just... Humbling Vision would hurt, but it does drop me down to 4 life at least, so... not awful. He's not gonna step up. That's okay. I don't really care. We're gonna take our mountain here and collect. Since he's investing everything here, I could drop a Grove Guardian. I think that's fine. So he's invested all of his lands left side here, so in case anything happens to the llama, we've got a backup Grove Guardian. He's gonna go other side, potentially Ground Shaker. Yep, so 5-5 stats, once again being super awkward. Hook is cool, though. Hook is very cool. Yeah, there's no point in, like, hitting up into this or anything. He might get, like, a double collector here, which kind of sucks, but... I think I'm just gonna go for the llama. This helps me draw a little bit. And we're gonna +1. Especially since we're drawing a bunch of stuff. Might as well +1 here. And this lines up the hook really nicely. I get to decide where I want to put my mountain next turn. Don't have to invest the mountain this turn. You don't want to build lands for your opponent to step on. If he wants to take a trade here for some reason, he's going to have to kind of force this to happen. Triton Shaft. Okay. Is he going for this? So this would be pretty nice if we get like a hook here. Pretty worth. I didn't want to invest a Deepwood Stalker, but now that he's invested 3 Faeria into this, it's pretty worth it. And we get to hook this. We'll see what he plays. Okay, nice. Double Stalker even? Well, we're not going to double Stalker, but... so we don't get like the super hunt down combo. That's okay. We'll hook, we'll stalker this. Yeah, there's no point in double stalker anyways. But I do have to decide where I want to put my mountain. I suppose I could have hooked first, but there's... I don't think there's anything in my list that would change the stalker play here. Where is this mountain going? I guess center's fine. That's a pretty good salamander spot. Hook spot in the future. Now I don't know if I want to actually move this. We are gonna hook for sure. We're gonna shoot. We'll see what we draw. So here's a good example of how hook works if you were unaware. You can see that the combat happens first. You get to decide after you take the draw. You can't move onto where the creature was, of course. You gotta select that first. I don't... I'm just a little bit worried of like Ice Rock Behemoth coming down. I don't know if I want to move. Do I play into Ice Rock Behemoth? I think I can do it. I'm gonna risk it. I don't know. Maybe that's bad. I struck Behemoth is really bad. We go up to 3, 4... Sorry. 3, 4, 5... Oh, never mind. Yeah, I am on 6 for some reason. Sure, okay. Yeah, I'm on 6 Faeria with a +1, so I can actually Stalker plus Caretaker the Ice Rock. But I should have calculated that before I decided on that. So Death Touch is a bit annoying. Might try and lock this down with a Taunt. I think that wouldn't be awful. Because this would be less of an investment than the Llama Corn has been. I don't know, I don't really want to invest my Llama here. I could, but yeah, it does require another land, but I think that's okay. I mean, this is a decent land spot to have. We have Grove Guardian, we step back because of Triton Banquet shenanigans we know that is coming. Want to dodge out of range here. Again, 5/5 stats just being super awkward. Uh-oh. That's not good. Good thing we have the Stalker. Wait, he didn't move the 2/2. Okay. We get a free combat hit on the structure now, actually. That's a good thing to point out. So we'll take the Stalker, and I could not hit into this, but I think I'm just gonna hit into it. I get free draw. Llama, not really what I'm looking for. Really terrified to step up. It might, yeah, might be worth playing the Tiki here. Because I want this collection. Yeah, I want this collection, and we also want to make sure that we don't get value traded, so I might take the Tiki buff. It doesn't feel great investing here, but I do have hooks, so we can make use of the 7/7 later on, right? And we'll take another +1. We got so many llamas, +1 should be fine. But we do want some draws for hook hunt down combo soon, I guess. Oh, there's the Behemoth. I guess I don't have quite the answer to that anymore. Okay, we take a draw here. Hunt down? That's not useful. I was hoping for kind of a buff on this 1/1 here. Yikes. Big yikes. Yeah, Ice Rock Behemoth sucks. We can just take the hit, maybe? I mean, I've got nothing else that I'm doing here, right? We'll take the hit, see if we draw anything. If it's Salamander... Do we just invest Hunt Down to take out the Ice Rock? It might be worth it. That was a 0 cost. He got both oh, sweet. It's good information here. This means that he got the discount from Herald, right? So he has no other 5-life creatures in hand. I think I'm just gonna take the Hunt Down. It's bad value, but I'll take another draw. I mean, it's not the worst value. I had to... my creature that was dead anyways, right? So it was like a 3 Faeria kill the Ice Rock. It was fine. But you can see there, that was 2 combat hits with the Hunt Down. Which is okay, but I mean, it does kill the life of your creature, right? Like if this was Yeah, I don't know. We got to take out a 7-life creature for this. Ground Shaker. Always a nuisance. Give me Hook. Hook would be excellent. Hook. That's a few hook targets. Salamander would actually be pretty excellent here too. And I should still have 3 to draw into. Ah, what's that for? Rude. No salamander. Do I take another draw? I guess so. I mean, there's another option to just use the hunt down. We can take out 2 creatures here. But that doesn't feel great, right? Yeah. Doesn't feel great. Salamander. Salamander lets me kill this, right? We just take a draw. Wait, we have hunt down Hook. Okay. So let's try this. We're gonna Hook. We're gonna hunt down this. Probably not gonna teleport. And then I guess we shoot this guy. Doesn't make a lot of sense though, does it? Okay, we'll put you aggressive. That could potentially work. Looking back on this play, there was a huge missed opportunity here where I could have used Hunt Down immediately after the hook on the llama, Hunt Down to the 3/3, teleported over to the well and got a collection, and then that second Ancient Boar there could have just gone on to the right side, and it would have essentially been a full clear. The Ground Shaker doesn't matter, he's not collecting. That would have been such a good turn, and I'm so ashamed of myself for not seeing that. Okay, bye. Here. And then you get to teleport again, but I don't think it was really worth it. I do get this aggressive boy-head face, which isn't that significant. Like, he's got, because he heals, he only actually does 5 damage. So good to note that you deal the damage first before the combat trigger, so you will deal 7, but then the heal happens. But it's nice to have this in range of everything as well. And we can hopefully try and clear his board here. I'm taking some face hits, but that's absolutely fine. I'm hoping we can take some face hits. There's the Salamander. A little late, buddy. I also got a Stalker. Yeah, I'd love to Stalker this instead, I think. Stalker, Tiki Piper to take something. I could do Stalker Hunt Down. Or we don't Stalker and we instead Hunt Down the Ground Shaker. Just killing the Ancient Boar. That's not awful, actually. I don't mind that. So here's how Hunt Down's gonna work. You always hunt down the lower attack creature, of course. So we're gonna do this. Probably use the Tiki. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work. So we hunt down this guy, boosting the attack. I love doing this. Then we get the trade here, and then we're gonna use some double neutrals. I probably should have done this first to see what I draw. Okay. I'm gonna Tiki Piper to boost this life again. Okay, not a bad turn. We set up Treble Collection and full clear. Not a bad turn. Now this 1/1 can easily get contested here, but he might want to worry about this 7/5 up here. Llama's really putting in the work with the draws. And the Tiki Pipers I'm super happy with, buffing these life stats. It's been excellent. Let's see what he has to contest. A Rich? What? Wait, is this a Wrath deck? What? I was not expecting that. Really? Wrath and 7-land deck. That's pretty bold. That is pretty bold. We had another Piper. Let's take a heal, hit, draw. I think we potentially Piper? I don't know, I might not actually care. Because now that I think about it, maybe he doesn't have Cypher's Wraths and stuff. He just has the Wrath of Ignis. Got 5. I don't want this to proc, right? So it might be worth it to just block with a Vulpine. It sucks if he has another Wrath though, then he full clears me potentially. It's at 6? At least that full clears him though. He's not gonna have anything left on board if he does that play, right? So he +1. Yeah, that's fine. If he Wraths here, that's all he's playing, and he's gonna have to pre-hit to Wrath. So he could full clear, but we will also full clear him. And I think I'm okay with that. We're down to 7 cards now. This llama's been drawing a lot. Don't want to play this third llama. That's going to be a bit too much draw. Might come down to fatigue. We'll see. Ah! Aurora! Aurora, no! Runin. Oh, I don't like that. Aurora was really good for him here. I don't want to play Runin, he's way too expensive. Gonna have to go for either Stalker, but I think I want to collect here anyways, so we might just drop another Vulpine, +1, and then we can play Tiki. Do this, draw, defensive Vulpine, take a +1, Tiki, heal. This Tiki is just so good. This llama's never dying. Which could be a problem, we're on 5 cards. A lot of cards in hand, so I just gotta keep +1ing from here on out. His Wraths, though, are getting bigger. They're at 7 now. Nice thing, though, we might be able to actually have Fatigue be a consideration to kill him. Even though we're taking damage, he hasn't damaged us at all, so as long as we're keeping on the pressure, we might be able to get some Fatigue damage in here. Not if you play something, though. Beast Trainer sucks. Disgusting. That's really disgusting. I guess he's got 2 more of these coming, right? So yeah, it's gonna be a tough one to win now that I think about it. We can do a full clear again with Hunt Down. I guess it's like a Flame Burst. We have to use the Stalker, of course, though. Alright. It's a little sketchy, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. He's also got another Beast Trainer into Behemoth combo, I think, but is that even worth it? Maybe that's not. He does have Ground Shaker too. I guess I can play the Ancient Boar? Yeah? We'll do this, because then we lose the opportunity if we don't play it here, right? +1. Okay. So we got 3 cards to beat him. Yeah, I do like getting the Ancient Boar down at least. It prevents like a Ground Shaker trade. And Hunt Down's just kind of losing. Yeah, you don't wanna just Hunt Down as a removal tool because it just, yeah, it's like a Flame Burst. Might as well get the creature down. Got another Ritualist. I think I have another Taunt, right? I think I have one more. But we just lose to the Wrath, right? Oh! Yeah, okay, I did have one more Taunt. That's pretty easy. So yeah, I guess we go for Guardian. It's looking grim. It certainly is looking grim. This Ancient Boar gets traded. That's okay. We gotta deal with one more Ice Rock Behemoth. That's gonna be nuts. At least he can't play it here. And pretty safe to assume he has like all the cards he needs in hand. Like we're down to the last bit, so he's gonna have Ice Rock, he's gonna have Beast Trainer, he's gonna have 2 more Wraths that are like extremely strong now. He might even just drop one here, I don't know. You probably want to take the life down though. Fagoro. Ooh, what does he pick with that? He's gonna overdraw here. I don't think he realizes. Yep, bye-bye hook. 10 damage Wrath. Nuts. Oof, lucky me. Very lucky me. So that's 1 Wrath down. They're at 10. Can we do a full clear here with Hunt Down? This is a better Hunt Down target. He does 6. We can only boost a little bit. But I think we just Hunt Down and then drop Zephyr. Yeah? Yeah, that's a pretty good play, honestly. So we Hunt Down first. We take the 3/3. Actually, is this too risky? Yeah, he's got another Wrath, right? We don't want to just hit face here. We take the creature. I think. Let me think about this. Because he can't play Ground Shaker here, and if he Wraths, that's honestly okay. Do we just hit face for 7? That's a pretty big risk. But then if he just Wraths, he like full clears, he gets a lot of collections off this. He gets to +1 twice, right? Yeah, I guess we take the creature. I don't know, it was debatable. Like hitting face, I'm on 1 card now. Does he just Wrath here? I don't think so. You want to get a creature down. Water Ellie. So if we can keep him clear, well, I don't know. We can keep him clear of collections, but these salamanders are useless. Do I Llama face? Llama does 3 damage only. My god. I don't have very much to work with here. Could have like Ground Shaker. I guess I just go for Runin. So does Llama help me in the long run? It does 3 damage only. But it damages me as much as it heals because of fatigue. It can contest more stuff. I think just the Runin is all I got. My highest attacking creature right here. Okay. I'm gonna take fatigue damage now, but so is he. What? What happened? Why did he surrender? Did he have to go? It was a long match. Wait, did he not have another Ice Rock or something? That was weird. I mean, I have good board control. I don't think you realized what my hand was. I mean, I had 3 I mean, I guess I could like boost this with salamanders. It's not that much, but we could do it. We had the hook to hopefully fight stuff with, but I don't know, I would have loved to see how that would have played out. I'm kind of disappointed that ended so soon. Because I don't know who would have won there. I guess maybe he didn't have anything in hand, maybe it was just like bulk, but he had 1 more Wrath, did he not? Maybe he only runs 2. That could be another thing as well, because he's got such a high land cost deck, maybe he only ran 2 Wraths. I don't know. But I guess we'll take that victory, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something about Hunt Down, and I'll see you in the next one.